Get ready for an old school discovery based run of the final end of level 5. Boy, if I only did some research or preparation for these videos, we'd be in great shape. Again, I am not recording live. I'm learning, as I hope you're learning, and I assume that you're all interested in my process. Even though none of you are, I'm sure. But I need something to talk about, because this level took me a little bit to beat. A little bit of old-fashioned trial and error that I can only assume is absent in today's video games. Here we get our first look at the boss. Looks a lot like the very first level boss. First try with only 2 bars of health, I knew that it was going to be just a trial and error segment. And I didn't even get a shot on him. Okay, death number 1. Back we go. And this game, I have to stop assuming that I'm at the end of a level just because I've been given a chance to look at the map segment and beaten bosses and everything else. Because here we go. So I'm finding that one of the main differences between my sound and the video, and why it was so difficult to get audio lined up, was that any time the game lags in me time, the recording doesn't lag with it. And it looked like over the course of an entire run-through of a level, the more lag we had, the farther behind the video got, because the videos here move pretty crisply, with the exception of a few frames missed on some of that flashing character animation. So for the time being, until I find a way to record that doesn't make the computer lag, I'll be doing my commentary post-play instead of live. I'd like to do it live, I really would, but to get the lengths to line up would be difficult otherwise. Do you notice on this boss, on this run I found out, okay, every time you hit him, a bone comes out of him and starts flying around the room to you. Alright, so you can't just whack and slash your way through this boss. Back to the beginning of the segment. So I thought I'll try getting a nice clean run through the segment to get max health. See how I do this time. In the last video we were talking a little bit about what we were going to do for TVs, computers, entertainment. We're looking to use our computers over there, but we don't know if we should wait till we get over there to buy another computer. We don't want to lug around the desktop. We also have to consider room, because we're not moving big shipping crates full of stuff like we found in some materials we looked at. We've been looking at a couple different books, one that we got as a gift, one that we got for ourselves, two separate books about moving to Ireland. Both have some helpful tips. We just have to hope and assume that things are up to date there, especially with work permits and things like with me. It looked like prior to 2009, which was the Irish economic downturn, happened just a little later than the USA's economic downturn. It was pretty easy for foreigners to get work because their economy was booming. They were importing labor. Down goes Trevor again. Still figure out Alucard. They were importing labor, bringing people in because there was huge tech sector jobs and all this infrastructure building and all kinds of bubble economy things. Then their economy tanked, just like the USA's did, and they still haven't bounced back yet. So, since 2009, it's been made difficult for foreigners to get jobs, and when I've explained it to people, they go, oh, you know, that's too bad, you should be angry, and I'm really not angry. I certainly understand a country that is in economic need has to protect their own people. They really do. But what that means for me, that was just sloppy. What that means for me is that I need to be in a special segment to work. A lot of suggestions have been, oh, well, while she's working, you could just do something like be a bartender or work in a restaurant or something like that, and I would be happy to do that. I think that would be a great way to get exposure to the people and the culture to work in a service industry like that with people. But unfortunately, the Irish laws, as we understand them, specifically forbid those kinds of jobs for foreigners. you have to be some kind of a specialist that they cannot get in Ireland or in the EU. Sounds like the process goes something like this. You apply for a job. If they want you, they have to go through a channel of posting the job on the Irish job forums, also the European Union job forums. If and only if they cannot find a candidate in Ireland or the EU who fits that description, then the people who employ you get to pay a nice hefty fine to the government for the privilege of employing you. So you have to be in some kind of sector that you just can't get over there. Unfortunately, I am not skilled in something unique like computer science or some kind of hardcore specialist. I'm a music teacher, and again, on the research that we've looked around, music in schools exists, but not in the same form that it does here in the States. And again, I don't know if teachers are scarce enough over there to warrant them hiring a foreigner to work in their schools. Back to the game. On this run of the boss, I saw, hey, I can hit him with my knife a few times until I ran out of hearts there, and I almost get him on this run. One more swing would have gotten him. They got trapped behind that wall. Back to the beginning of the segment. So, for me working, books and websites all have different information on them. We've tried to get reliable, easy-to-read information from the Irish government websites. Unfortunately, Irish government websites are a lot like American government websites. Very convoluted, full of lots of text, and lots of descriptions of a lot of different specific situations, but not one specific to us. We've seen lots of examples of married couples. They say, if you are a boom 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 boom, then boom 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 boom. But none of those, if you this, then you this, quite match what our situation is. So it's going to be difficult, I think, for us to do too much planning on that beforehand. So that might be another thing we have to figure out once we get there, like most things, which is a little bit scary, a little bit exciting, but we'll just have to see. This fight takes a little while with the boss. My timing with the swords isn't probably up to snuff. I should be able to get 2 hits on him every time he jumps up, and then wait back. And if I stand there, the bones take a nice straight path at me that I can destroy them on their way over. 1 sword. There we go, there's 2. I'm watching my time. You can see I have 95, 94, 93. I assume that goes by seconds, although in some of these games time is kind of an arbitrary thing that just goes by count numbers. In Super Mario Brothers, you started with like 300 counts, and they would go a lot faster than seconds. But I had to keep an eye on that. Again, Game Genie won't protect on that. There is an infinite time code, but that also doesn't let you finish some levels because of Game Genie's forced glitching of the games. Here we go, last pass, 2 hearts left, 2 sword hits, kill the bones. Now it's down for an all-out assault. Now this boss is a little smart. He waits just out of whip range, and he waits. Look at that, I can't hit him. I have to step into his range or step out to get him to move back towards me. And every hit knocks off the bones, but I've got him pretty dead to rights here. Watching my time, just watching my life. Here we go. Grab the orb. Victory song. Now our map changes.